everybody. Happy Tuesday. Let me see if I can get my computer going. See if I can see you guys. Good morning. Good morning, Tiffany and Brenda and Donna. So if you are hopping on, and I know I usually have a lot of lurkers in the background that don't like to really chime in and say anything, and that's okay, but maybe give me a heart, a thumbs up, let me know you're here, or just say good morning and let me know where you're from. I always like to know where everybody's coming in at. Good morning, Kathleen. So we have Maine, Indiana, Ohio. Brenda, where are you from? Brenda, where are you from? Let's see. Good morning. I just like to see sometimes where everybody's at. Sometimes I know that I get quite a bit of people on here. I know I do some shipping, but I get a lot of questions from the UK and South Africa, which that's pretty exciting. Just crazy how technology is, huh? Now we can just communicate and watch each other across the world. Missouri, Michigan. I know I do, you know, I do ship some things out, and a lot of times I'm just doing so many invoices and just slapping the labels on, and I never really look to see where things are going. Shame on me. But, you know, every now and then something will catch my eye. Be like, oh, I know where that's at. You're in West Virginia. Oh, Brenda, you are like my neighbor. I'm waving to you. So I'm in Pennsylvania here. Oh, Ohio. Good morning. So Tina's in Ohio. She's also my neighbor. I actually have family in Ohio, Chagrin Falls, if you know where that's at. So it's right across the border, Pennsylvania border. It's not far from here. It usually takes us about 2 hours to get there, which that's not bad. So, okay. I will be right back. I think my Alexa stopped. Hey Alexa, play K-Love. She's not communicating right now. Alexa must be on her morning break. Hey Alexa, play K-Love.
Getting your K-Love station from iHeartRadio.
There we are. Alexa likes to go on her break sometimes without letting anybody know, so at least mine does. But our internet here fluctuates. I know, you know, we've had some issues with doing lives, but we have a really long stretched cable from the telephone pole where it needs to come in, and it gets crazy. It has a mind of its own sometimes. Okay, so we're going to get started. This should be a really quick video because this is really these are super easy to do. I'm going to show you. These are the placemats, and they are so vibrant. This is the same exact material as the pillow covers that we just did the buy-in for. I do have some pillow covers left. I ordered a bunch of extra with that. Now, I'm going to have to see how many I have left, and when I do, I'm going to post up the buy-in again for them, and I'll offer those up as ready to ship. But I got to finish getting those out. I was up till really late last night, shipping all day, you know, getting the blankets, just having to get them all out and then put them into where they're going and piles of who they went to, because I tried to combine anybody who bought the pillow covers and the blankets together. I wanted to do one shipping, so I had to get like all the piles together. So it's a long process. I'm only about halfway through. So if you haven't got an invoice in that yet, that's probably why. It's just a lot of work for it because there was like lots of boxes. And like I said, I'm trying to combine shipping so that everybody gets the best shipping. Okay. Well, Jessica, you need to stop missing the buy-ins. I am thinking about doing, the blankets were a huge hit, so I am going to consider doing that again. I just talked with the supplier, and they are getting some more blankets in, so I'm working with them. Okay, but we're going to move on to these adorable placemats. Now, for those of you that have been in my group for a while, we did placemats like these for Santa Claus. And we did the milk and cookies, so I figured why not do something for the Easter Bunny, because I know my grandkids will definitely leave out some carrots. So I have this one. I got 2 more designs I'm working on, that way that we'll have at least 3. We are going to do this super easy because a lot of people don't have, this is 12 by 18, I think. Let me measure this. I think this is a 12 by 18. And a lot of people don't have a press that big. About 17 and a half, so almost, it's about a 12 by 18, 12 by 17 and a half. So a lot of people do not have a press this big. So I wanted to show you the alternative to pressing these if you want to do the placemats, for those of you that don't. So what I'm going to use is, for this, I am actually going to break out the Cricut Easy Press again. This is an absolute go-to if you do not have a heat press, and or you're looking for something a little bit bigger but you can't afford a bigger one right now. This runs around $200. I got this at, I want to say I got this one at Walmart.com. Online it was cheaper than in my store. So they had to price match that. And I know some people were finding that the stores, Walmart was saying I'm not price matching that. They have to. If their online says, I think I got this one for $189. If their online says $189 and their in store, which when I went it was like $212 or something like it. It was a weird number. They didn't really, at first she was like, I don't know if we can, and I'm like, oh no, this is online, and it says that you also have them in store. So I argued that point, and I won. So it wasn't something like that they weren't offering in store, and it didn't say online only price. So if yours does not say that when you go there and you find it at Walmart, absolutely have them price match that. Yeah, my Easy Press, I'm going to tell you, this thing, I use it a lot. And I'm finding that I use it a lot more lately for certain things. So I'm loving the Easy Press. Yours is green. I think the green one, was that, Debbie, was that the first one that came out? Because I know when they first came out, they didn't go to 400 degrees. They were... I didn't get one then, so I don't remember, but I had a heat press, so that was when I was doing vinyl. So I really wasn't concerned about it, but I know this new one that came out, this is just a raspberry color. I know they have another color too, but I want to say that they didn't go to 400 degrees. This new one does now, which is perfect for sublimation. So I don't know, as long as, I don't know what the differences is between the colors, but as long as it goes to 400 degrees, you're good. So this is heating up right now, and it doesn't take long to heat up. When I showed it to you, I hadn't had it on yet, and it's already at 230. So for these, this is the placemats we are going to use, okay? And like I said, this is the same material as the pillow covers. I love this, and it's 100% polyester. This is a double-sided placemat. I've done these before, and the video didn't turn out right, so I do not have a video, so I figured let's revisit it. And the last time when I did it on my large heat press, and a lot of you don't have a 16 by 20. I think mine's 16 by 24. A lot of you don't have that. So I'm trying to give you an alternative to this, okay? So you're still able to make the placemats. But here they are. This is a double-sided placemat. I love these placemats. I always have these to offer up to family friends. I change mine out for the holidays on a table. I use them on, geez, I even have it on my coffee table. I have one sitting. So love these. Look, I mean, the color on these, look how well the color is. This color is so bold on these. And these are how the pillow covers turn out. The pillow covers that I have turn out the same exact way with the really bold colors. They have several colors out now, Debbie? Okay. This goes to 400, yeah. Like I said, it wasn't something that I really was into at the time because I had a heat press, but now I know these ones do. And I grabbed it for my blanket. Actually, I grabbed it before then when I was doing vinyl. And then one day I was like, my blankets kept shifting and moving, ghosting, and I was like, there has to be something. So I tried this on it, and it was like, oop, game changer. Okay, so this is, we're at 370 now. Okay, so I'm just working on a makeshift, this is just a plastic table that I put up in my dining room. We had it up for a family gathering because I have 7 grandkids, 5 children. So we have a lot. So I put this long 8-foot table up, and it has stayed because I use it. It's always filled with my crafts. My dining room is my crafting area. I just don't have a special room for it. I do in the basement, but I don't like to be stuck down there, so I do a lot up here in my dining room. So this is just an 8-foot table. I grabbed a ironing pad. I will put a link to this. It was on my baby blanket link. I just got this off of Amazon. I want to say it was under $20. And that's just to protect my table. Now, someone asked me, can they put it on wood and things like that? I'm not going to tell you yes, I'm not going to tell you no. I can tell you that my plastic 8-foot table does not get hot underneath it. So this is meant to be ironed on. Now with a regular steam iron, like a clothing iron, I know they don't get as hot as the 400 degrees that this does, but I have not had this warp. I haven't had it change. So what happened to my Maria? What happened to my blanket video last week? Well, Facebook removed it because someone reported it as inappropriate content. So that blanket, believe it or not, which I thought was like no big deal. I'm showing you guys, how to do this. That thing has caused me more controversy than you can ever even imagine. I'm not about drama. I don't like Facebook drama. I don't like no drama in my life. So I just kind of like, I'm done. But I had to remove about 10 or so people even from the group here. Just for various reasons. Like, it was the biggest headache ever. So Facebook it got flagged. It got removed. What inappropriate context, I don't know. My messages was flooded with people saying, I can't believe you're showing people how to do this. You're ruining it for the people that can't. It was insane. It was insane. We live in a world with millions of people, and they're worried about a few customers. It just blows my mind, I don't care. I'm going to continue on. We are going to learn how to make these now. So with that being said, my video was removed. I didn't save it. That's a lesson learned from me. I will start saving my videos from here on out. That way if something gets flagged or removed, I have a backup video that I probably would be able to share with you guys. So That's what I'm going to do from now on. So that was a lesson for me as well. But we will continue on. Okay, so back to the placemats. Yeah, it is great. It's just, it's childishness, but whatever. Whatever. It just, Facebook's crazy sometimes, huh? Okay, so what I did was we're going to start this, so I put my heat pad down just to protect my surface, okay? I am going to put a disclaimer in there. I do not know if this will protect your fine wood table, anything like that. I don't know. I'm protecting I was not real concerned because this is like an old 8-foot table. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try it on this. It's worked for me. But I'm going to put a disclaimer in that I would probably stay away from if you have an antique or a beautiful finished table. I would be concerned and say, you know what, I'm not even going to chance it. So I would probably do this on a ceramic tile floor or something. Maybe even get yourself a small little 4-foot fold-up table and work on it at one of those plastic tables. You can buy them at Walmart. You can buy a 4-foot one for around $20, I think, because I even have one upstairs I use it as a vanity in my dressing room. So I would probably say go the safe route, get yourself a fold up or a folding little 4-foot plastic table and work on that. Then I'm going to put the butcher paper down just because I'm going to need it, and I'm going to show you why. Then we're going to do the linen placemat. And then I'm going to cover it again with this. Because what I want to do is I want to get a press on this first. And then I've heated this up to 400 degrees. This is the 10 by 12. So I want to just get that, pre-press that. I am going to do a small little buy-in. I can have these placemats to us in about a week. Because the shipping on them gets astronomical. So it's better if I can buy it in quantity and then pass it off that way to you. Yeah, Condi, I love Condi, don't get me wrong. But their sticker shock with shipping, there's a few places that shipping's like super high. That would be one of them. Here it was curling up. Oops, sorry, I don't want to be shaking my camera. I'm shaking I have my phone's stuck on it like a gooseneck holder, and when I move the table, it shakes. Sorry. Okay. And most of you know, I don't like to lint roll. I'm not a lint roller. I feel that sometimes it pulls up more fiber, so I kind of do the flick and shake method to get my lint off of things. I was finding when I was lint rolling, it was tending to bring up more fibers that might have not came up otherwise. Some people love it. Wasn't for me. Still ain't for me. I don't lint roll anything. Yes, these can be placed on a regular heat press. I'm just showing an alternative to it if you do not have a large heat press, because these are 12 by 18 approximately. So especially if you're going to do a full bleed on this. If not, you still don't want to, some people don't have that big of a heat press. I want to say my design is probably about 10 by 17 maybe. So this is a fairly large design. So I do have this design in my shop ready to go. So if you're looking for this, and then it does not have the kid's name on it, okay? I just put at the very end just in some writing, and I want to say this is the font Kids in the House. And I just put the name at the bottom. This will not come with it, but you can go ahead and add a name if you want to personalize them. And then I'm just going to cut around. You don't have to. I just like to be able to see how it fits a little bit better. Then I am just going to, I'm an eyeballer. I do not ever, which I probably is not a good thing, but I never measure. So I just kind of eyeball. And then I'm a heat tape girl, so I'm just going to heat tape this down very well. And we are going to do these for 400 degrees, and I do them about 50 seconds. Now, when I first did these a few times, they were shifting on me, and I couldn't figure out how to get this to not shift whenever, because we need to move the easy press with this. And it was tending to ghost and shift a little. One of the tricks I found was after I'd heat taped this down really well to my placemat, I literally took my placemat and taped it to my butcher paper. So I am going to do that. So I secured that as well. I don't know if that really had helped, but it seemed to work. We're going to see. So I just did that to help with it not moving. So once that's all taped down, it's taped to my paper. I'm going to cover it again with the butcher paper, and we are going to start pressing. So all I'm going to do is take my easy press, and I'm literally just going to lay it on here. And then I'm going to start the timer. There's a little green light on here, and it starts the timer. You don't measure either. I don't, because I feel that sometimes even whenever I've done some measuring and stuff and I've looked at things, I look at it and I'm like, my eye don't see that right. So if my eye's not seeing it right, then somebody else's eye isn't seeing it right. So I don't measure. Some things I do, but for the most part, I'm not a measuring. Why is the butcher paper on the bottom? It doesn't have to be, but I'm using it for... It don't have to be in this instance because my print does not bleed over it. So it wasn't that I had to have it on this one, but I always put butcher paper underneath my substrate. So that's the first layer that I do. Okay, so now let me go to this. So when you do that, make sure after you do that, because now we got to move this, make sure you pick that straight up. Do not slide. So when that's done, pick up your easy press and then lay it back down again. You don't want to slide this because that will help, that will make the paper shift. But always put butcher paper underneath, just always. Make that a rule of thumb. It saves a lot of headache. You can't get all the designs. It has something to do with the Google. I sent you an email. Okay, Ruth, I'll go ahead and look at that. No pressure needed. I didn't need pressure on this. No. I'm just laying this on here. It also, that will help you with not getting those dreaded lines in that box. So I'm not using... A lot of times on fabric items, you do not have to put pressure on. It's not something you need pressure. It's not like vinyl where you had to like literally get down on top of it and put all of your body weight on it. It's not like that. Sublimation is an ink. So this is for me, this is taking on a gas and it's becoming part of the product. So this does not need pressure. A lot of times fabric items don't need pressure. Okay, so I am going to take a peek under here and see how we did. Okay, it's looking good so far. All right, so as you can see, here we are. All right, we'll see. But like I said, I made sure I taped it to my butcher paper to give it some stability and without it hopefully shifting or ghosting or anything. The biggest thing is when you're doing your easy press, make sure you lift it up. Don't slide because your paper will move. And there we are. Get it up a little closer. There you go. So super easy. You can do bigger items. If you don't have a larger heat press, the biggest thing with this easy press is, like I said, don't slide. Take, and as soon as it's done, lift it straight up and then move it to your next item, because the sliding is causing your paper to move. Okay, so this will be a great alternative to those of you that can't afford the $500 press because you just can't get a 16 by 24. And honestly, that's how much I paid for mine downstairs for from Heat Press Nation. But I do a lot of big items and I like to be pressed in one. But if you need the alternative, this Cricut Easy Press can absolutely work for you. My printer does 11 by 17. I have an Epson Workforce 7720, and yes, it prints up to 13 by 21 actually. So I can print the larger ones. So this was printed at about, I want to say it was like 11 by 17. I don't think I printed that big. I want to say this print was, I'm going to give you an approximate. So it was about 16, or about 15. This was probably about 10 by 15 print. And I know some of you like to, get you know how to do the splicing and I don't. I was never good at that. I have done some of things where I've had to piece. It's a lot of stress. But if you can do that and you know how to do that, then that's awesome. You can piece this if you have a smaller printer and you need to do the 11 by, or you need to do it in an 8 by 10 format. You can do this, would probably just be 2 pieces. What kind of inks do I use? I use the Ink Pro inks. Okay. All right. So now let me tell you what I do also when you sell something. Someone's going to say, because I sell these for about $12 a mat finished. So when I sell these, people are like $12, because I had that for my Santa one. People are like $12. I don't know. What I did was make it double duty. These are double-sided. So make it so that, they're not just buying a $12 item. They feel like they're getting more bang for the buck. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the back side as well. That way, when Easter is over, they can use the back as well. So this is not just a wasted item. We are going to do, I am going to do, this design I do have going into my shop. I just didn't get a chance. I'm going to do Hello Spring, because even though it's going to be Easter, this can be up before Easter, as well as this can go clear until mid of June, because summer really doesn't even start until like June 21st or 22nd. So I got the split roses that I'm going to be listing. And I just put the saying in the middle that says Hello Spring. You could put whatever you want in this design. So I'm just going to cut this out. And I always use new butcher paper every time. Just because the bottom also tends to get like really wrinkled. I don't know if you can see this, but it gets like these really wavy wrinkled lines, and then it makes your substrate kind of weird. So I always get new butcher paper. And then I am going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my design. I'm just going to put it on my substrate. And I'm going to tape, tape, tape. Lots of tape, lots of tape. And when you're taping, if you're new, you definitely need a heat tape. Just a regular old tape will not work. Get a good heat tape. A heat tape that will not leave lines and marks or residue. I get this one from Condi. I know some people say they get theirs off of Amazon. I have not used Amazon for heat tape only because sometimes I get a little worried about Amazon things. I've seen so many people in different groups say, well, this mug said that it was sublimation and they get it and it's not. So I'm a little bit leery about things like that. So I do use reputable wholesalers. Not saying that you can't get good stuff on Amazon, because I'm an Amazon girl. My husband thinks that he kids with me all the time and tells me that they probably have a tunnel up above us that just shoots product down onto my porch. So I do love Amazon. I just don't use them for substrates. I want to be able to go back to a seller or a wholesaler, if so, and say, hey, your substrate's not really working. So I build relationships with people that, my wholesalers. Okay, so I take this one again down as well, and then I'm going to cover. And we are going to do the same process. 400 degrees, I'm doing 60 seconds. You are using Ink Pro ink, Jennifer, as well, but the images are coming out with lines on them. I've cleaned the heads and refilled the cartridges. I'm so lost, I've wasted so much money. I would just say that usually if you're getting the lines down through it, like it's usually black and it looks like a pizza wheel, they call them pizza wheel lines, that usually is head cleanings. Other than that, I'm not quite sure. You might want to go ahead and you can call Ink Pro. They will literally pick up a phone and answer you. What paper, please? I use the A-Sub 125G. They have a 120. I don't like it. It's a little bit thinner. Some people love it. I don't. I like a little bit thicker paper. And as you've seen, I picked that straight up, and I'm going to lay straight back down. And it's okay. Some people say, doesn't that bother it? You're overlapping on your heat press. No. You cannot see anything on my heat press that I've done where it's overlapped. It doesn't get darker, it don't get lighter. Or on my easy press, I mean. Yes, the St. Patrick's Day, Easter, use whatever. I was going to use this spring one on a pillow cover, so I was like, let me hurry up and print this out and show you. But make your placemats double-sided. When I did them for the Santa ones, I did a fall Thanksgiving one and then a Santa one. So, I did Thanksgiving, fall and then Christmas. So that's how I did them. That way people can flip them over. They're spending more time, if they're putting them as placemats on the table, they're able to just flip them. And always new butcher paper, because as you can you see that? Your image will, this is inks. Your inks turn into like a gas horn. So there's always some residue. Some people say they reuse your butcher paper. I never will. Just because this can lightly transfer to your next project. Let me show you this one. This Easy Press, this is something that I don't think you'll ever regret purchasing. Okay, so there you go. And that was done with an Easy Press. So if you don't have the large press, definitely get the Easy Press if you can. There you go. Okay. It's just a great alternative to not having a large press. What design software am I using? I go between two of them. I had the Silhouette Business Edition. I use that one, and I use Photoshop. So I do more in Photoshop, so I'm going to say I've progressed to that. It's a little bit better toward what I'm needing it for the transparent images. So have I done a waffle towel using the Cricut press? I have not, because just my personal opinion, I don't like the waffle towels. I do have I do these ones, the velour, which I sell in my shop. I love these, and yes, I've used the Easy Press on it. And I have a microfiber kitchen towel. So this one's more like a bath towel. It's more velour. And then I have a microfiber kitchen towel. Those are the two that I absolutely love. And I have fingertip towels too for the bathroom. So these are the two that I use and that I love, and I have done them. Let me show you my latest one that I have used a Cricut on. And this is from my farmhouse designs, and this was done with my Easy Press. So there you go. So yes, I have used the Easy Press on the towels, and to be honest with you, that Easy Press would be perfect for a craft show. If you don't want to lug your heat presses with you, and you wanted to do some pressing on demand, like print and press on demand, you can customize things, whatever, and literally you could press it right there at the craft show. And believe me, people will go crazy over items and stand in line and wait, or come back for items, like if you need to give yourself a half an hour because you got a line, they will come back for these items. People love to be able to get personalized items right there. What time and temp did I use? I used 460 seconds, and it turned out a little yellow. That's what I'm using, but if that's the case, then go ahead and cut back. You could do 45 seconds. So depending on what you're doing it on, you can also cut when it comes to fabric items, I've even went as low as 385, 390. And then I would still keep it at like the 60 seconds. But if you feel, that the yellow kind of is scorching. And if you want to get rid of scorch marks off of items, it's just a little bit of hydrogen peroxide and water mix, about a half and half. Spray your item with it, wash it, and that should remove it and take care of it, or rinse it out. That's the old trick for ironing. I know, you know, we're not an ironing generation. So that was what our grandmothers had used because items did get scorched from the heat of constant ironing. And it was just a hydrogen peroxide with a mix of water in a spray bottle, spray it down, rinse it out. And it usually takes away the scorch marks. Sometimes you have to do it once or twice. So if you're getting that, you can cut back some of the heat if you feel that the heat's too high. I am going to get, I do carry the placemats, but I'm going to do a smaller buy-in for them. And I'm going to probably sell these in pairs because I think that's probably the best way to do it than to just, you know, single them out. So I'm going to just do these in pairs. And then that way you can offer them as well. And I sell one of these for $12. So probably for a pair, I'd probably sell probably $20 for the pair, especially if they're personalized. And kids things, like I told you last week, kids items always, always, always sell. People love to buy for their animals and they love to buy for their children or their grandchildren. Did Barbara say something? Sorry, sometimes I miss some of the comments. They scroll too fast. The 12 by 10, this is the 12 by 12 Easy Press. Now they sell some other sizes. I don't have the middle of the road, which I think is a 8 by 10, 9 by 12. I don't know. There's a middle one, and then they have a small one, a mini one. And I do have the mini one. Now this one, when I'm using, whenever I need to, because sometimes you might get like the seam here that sits up a little. And if you wanted to with this and you had a bigger mat, you could have used the like the Cricut mat for under this. That would work too. But sometimes, like if I got to get into a corner, I've had to use this one time on my blanket. For some reason, the binding was, it must have been wonky in the corner and it wasn't getting it, so I used this on it. And I kind of just laid it there and then just rubbed on it to get it. But I do have this one for those circumstances. And when I did order this off of Amazon, this is the carrier for it. So if I'm going to a craft show, I will take it that way. Or wherever I'm going. If I'm going somewhere and I'm taking this. It's easy. It fits in here. I fit my little mini one in here. I put them both in here. And my mat goes in the back. And it goes with me. Couple substrates. Ready to go. Making some money. What size paper did you print on? On that one, I want to say I printed on a 13 by 19 sheet. I'm going to make this one for my other two grandchildren. So this is 13 by 19 in my Epson. So that was what I printed these on. And then, but you know what? I probably could have made it a little bit smaller. I don't know. I didn't. I just covered my whole area. These are so, and these placemats, when you get them, they got like starch and stiff, but they are so fluid. I love this material, and this is what the pillow covers are done in too. And it takes the ink so well. So I printed on a 13 by 19, but you could probably get away with doing on a 11 by 17. Since these are, you know, you can make it a little bit smaller. I just kind of almost did edge to edge and filled up the whole surface with this. You don't have to. Don't make it too small. You know, you want it to be appealing to the eye. But you could do it 11 by 17 and then just do the whole thing. But like I said, I went like edge to edge almost.
And let me tell you, as a pastor's wife, volunteers are essential.
I love the full coverage too. I'm actually working on a more fuller, like a full covered placemat. I want to go ahead and do one of those.
And then there are other times that it's so fulfilling and I love it. But what do you need? Do you need
Would I do towels with the Easy Press? Yep.
volunteer community and
The only thing I could say about the tiles is if you're doing the tiles, make sure that you pre-press the tiles. I noticed that like the dry erase boards, the coasters, the tiles, they tend to hold moisture. So you need to pre-press them. I usually do them 460 degrees, pre-press them, let them cool a second, then do it, and then you can go ahead and that should work for them.
Because as I was going through there, you can pull it up if you want to pray for them, if you want to pray for somebody.
Okay.
And at the bottom it says, hey, here is the impact of your prayer. I thought that was really cool because I went, wow.
All right, so that's it, guys. That's super easy. This Cricut Easy Press, especially if you had one when you were doing the vinyl, like, and it's a lifesaver. It's really has done a lot, and I don't know if a lot of people are, realizing that their Easy Press can actually do a lot with sublimation ink. Now, it's not for everything because some things you really got to get a heavy press on. I noticed like my doormats. I have not tried it on a doormat, but I know when I do my doormats, I need a heavy pressure on it. So that I do have to use on my my big press downstairs. But you could definitely do fabric items because fabric items are a light press anyways because you don't want that box. So the Easy Press is great for that. You can use it. I've used it on the tiles. That can be done. The blankets for sure. Anything fabric. Yeah, get this out, and if you're looking to do it, then use your Easy Press for it. Link to the bag. I'll put that in the description. That was just an Amazon bag. I found it on Amazon. I don't even know if it was made for the... Oh, it was. It's an actual Cricut one. That's why it fits in there perfect. And it's nice because it even has the Velcro things so that you Velcro it in. Nothing's moving around. I carried both that and my the mini one. They both go in here with an extension cord. Always grab an extension cord. And this is a 3-prong plug to it. So make sure you have an adapter or you have the 3-prong plug, extension cord. But if you're going to a craft show, absolutely make sure you throw and keep in an extension cord in here. Because first off, the cord is not super long. It's probably only a 6-foot cord. So the cord's not super long. You're going to be running into, especially if you go to a craft show and you're looking and you need that slack. So make sure you put an extension cord in it. Yes, I love the Easy Press too, and I thought at one point I was like, I was even debating on getting it, and I was like, no, I got it. I'm gonna break it out and start using it. Just gonna break down and grab it, and this thing I use it a lot, so it's definitely had its money's worth. Okay. All right, does anybody else have any other questions? I'm going to get back to shipping these blankets. I probably got half of them packaged up and ready to go. Some still need invoices. I got a lot with these blankets, so I know the FedEx man was hating me because I had three huge boxes, and I do mean huge. Like my husband didn't even pick them up. They had to be. I don't even know how he got them to my porch. He rolled them into the house because they were huge. I'll put all the information on what I used. It'll be whenever I'm done with the video. I'll put it in it. How do I package and ship these? These are super easy. As with everything, I always. Let me grab this stuff here. Okay, so when I package up my items, I buy these, I think these are also on Amazon. I have clear bags, and I ship everything in a clear bag. when they're going out, when someone purchases something. And then I buy cute little bags. So I'll put the links to these. I think these are Amazon as well. And then all I do is, seriously, I just fold it in half, throw it in the bag. Always include a business card. I do not get fancy with my business cards because honestly, and I'm the same way, you usually look at them and you throw them out. But I do just print my own. I just get some cardstock, make my own. This one actually, I think I had some old business, I don't even know, business card material, and I just put it on this. I don't even print in color. I just do black and white, but I want to make sure that they know where this came from. It goes in the bag. It gets sealed up. And then if I need to, then I fold my bag and usually throw it into my cute little bag. And then off it goes. But I always, I tend to buy the cute bags. You do not have to. You know, when it comes to priority items and stuff like that, this will just go into the postal bags, the ones. But if I have something that's, you know, smaller, I buy the small bags. I want it to kind of be, you know, recognized. People loving it. Do I put washing instructions in with these? I do not. No. I probably should make a list and just have it on. Now, I do have one already made up, and if you're ever looking for one for the doormat, it's in the file section. But I probably should just go ahead and get them for fabric items and stuff. I am not easy with washing things. I'm the girl that will, you know. Now, I do separate my colors from my whites, but I will throw things in the wash. I will bleach them. That's why I like these towels, because I've bleached them. This sublimation ink does not come out. So that's a lesson for you too. I see in so many groups people say, oops, I transferred some ink over here. How can I get that out? I'm sorry to inform you, you're not. So unfortunately, sublimation ink, once it is pressed onto your substrate, it's there. It becomes part of your substrate. This is an ink that turns like into gas, and it's your substrate. And I don't know if any of you have ever watched a video, like I've watched some like people in other countries making our products. So say like if you go to the store and you get a fabric and it has an all over floral design or whatever's on it, like even this. Watch how they make that. It is literally ink pressed onto white fabric that they made into a fabric, and here we now have items like this. It is the same thing. It's sublimation ink. It's an ink process that becomes the fabric. Once it's in there, it's in there. That ink will probably outlast your item that you're making. So know that. So I like to always trim around my things, because sometimes my inks will get on the edges of my paper, like, and I literally mean like somewhere sometimes where I don't even see, like here. And I don't even notice it that it's here. And I'll print it and then I'll have a little black line. So I started literally, you know, trimming around my items. Sometimes I'll be a little, you know, dangerous, and I'll just look at it and make sure I have no inks, and then I'll press it. But I tend to try to cut the image out now. What do I do care cards for? The only thing I have a care card for so far is just my doormats. I've not had anybody say, how do I take care of this? Because even if you tell them, they're probably, I do so many mugs, and I have told people, you know, hand wash, best, top rack, dishwasher safe. People don't listen, you know. So you could put a disclaimer with your items if you want. Whether or not somebody's going to listen to that, it's probably not going to happen. Because I'll be honest with you, how often do we go to the store and buy a mug and it will say underneath dishwash only, hand wash only, and guaranteed I'm putting it in my dishwasher. So, but you can make a care tip card for you. I mean, that would probably just be to protect you and your business. And I probably should. I just haven't. Okay. I am not going to keep anybody else here. I do have something. I'm hoping that comes this week. I have another baby kit item. I'm super excited about. I used to sell tons of these when I was doing vinyl. So, now that I'm doing sublimation, it's going to expand it a little. So I'm excited. I can't wait for it to get here. And then I'm going to share it with you guys. I got to go ahead and try it with some sublimation. I'm pretty sure it'll work. And then hopefully next week I will have a hot off the press with you for that. All right, as always, anybody can go ahead and message me. If I don't get back to you right away today, like yesterday, I was really not a lot. I would check in occasionally, but I was busy shipping. And I still got a lot of shipping to do today. But if I don't ever get to you within an hour or two, please post on this group page, hey, I sent you a message, and tag me in it. Because sometimes things go to my other messenger and I don't see it. And it's not that I'm ignoring you, I just don't see it. And then it gets buried. I get a lot of messages, and I do mean a lot of messages. So sometimes things will get buried. I might have looked at it, or I might have scrolled past it, and I just didn't pay attention to it. So can always get me that way. And I know I've told you before, my granddaughter likes to use my phone when she gets here from preschool, and she's a swiper. She sees something come up in Grandma's and she's watching YouTube. It's long gone. It looks like sometimes even looks like I looked at it and viewed it, and I didn't. My granddaughter just swiped it. So it's not that I'm ignoring you all. Yeah, it's not a 12 by 12 press, it's 12 by 10, Barbara. So that's the one that you want. It's 12 by 10. And I said I really wish they would come out with a 12 by 12. So I'm hoping they even come out with a little bit bigger. Like, how awesome would that be if they even came out with a, like, 14 by 20, 16 by 20. That would be so awesome if they came out with like a 16 by 20. That would be as big as my press downstairs. And I would carry it. Yes, kids stuff always sells. I went over that with a blanket. If you are looking for a niche, or you can't seem to maybe sell your mugs, or because the market, the Etsy, the marketplace is flooded with mugs. It's flooded with a lot of things. T-shirts. I'm not a big T-shirt girl to make. I wear T-shirts all the time, but I don't like to make them. They're just, I tend to do more decor, baby items, things like that. Oh, my camera's shaking. Sorry, guys. So I'm not a big T-shirt girl, but, the marketplace is flooded with those. If you're looking for items to really get your feet wet and promote for yourself, baby, kids items, it's something that never goes out of style. Everybody will buy for their kids, their grandkids, their nieces, their nephews. It's something that's always there. It will never go out of style. Where T-shirts will have their fads. Certain things, they're in and they're out. Some people are into towels, even though, kitchen towels seem to be, some people are like, they're not into towels anymore because nobody hangs them over their stoves like they used to. The stove handles. Those are kind of, a little iffy, but kids items, always, 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 always there. People will always buy for their kids. So start with doing some baby items, doing some kid items. That's something that you should always carry. Something geared toward the kids. Or pets. Pets, people go crazy for them. Bandanas are a big again this year. I've noticed that those are coming out. Pet bandanas are big. Pet tags, those are big. Anything that you can get for a pet. I know I've seen some coats that you could, like sweaters for the dogs you can do. Pet bowls, anything like that. Those are always big. All right, everybody. We've been on here for over an hour, so I don't want to keep anybody else. I am heading out, and you can always message me if you need me. All right, everybody have a blessed day.